Hey guys, it's Simi, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 3rd of August, 2021 to talk about everything that went down tonight on NXT. Not on USA, but on Sci-Fi. Yep. Excuse me, NXT on Sci-Fi. I thought the show was good. I didn't think it was great or anything. I thought the show could have been better. There was times where I'm kind of just like, okay, cool. Like, there were some things where I was just like, okay, whatever. I get where this is going, but I'm not super invested in this. But with that, again, I thought the show was good. I didn't think there was anything bad about tonight's NXT. But with that, thinking about it, building up to NXT TakeOver 36. NXT TakeOver 36, the night after SummerSlam. Still kind of weird that they're doing it that way, but SummerSlam has to be on Saturday because of the venue they're in. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Again, I mean, the more I keep talking, the more I'm kind of just like, maybe I didn't really like this show that much. But I did enjoy the show. Like I said, there wasn't anything I didn't like. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel on Twitch, just like a Broken King Slender did recently for 13 months now at Tier 1. Or if you say, I don't want to give you my real money, but I pay Amazon for Amazon Prime, then you could still subscribe to the channel. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime, which in turn gives you Prime Gaming. Bada bing, bada boom. That gives you one free subscription to any Twitch channel here on Twitch. And we greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to us right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. On the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out in the live chat by donating a super chat or a super sticker. All super chats do get read live on the air. And you can subscribe to the channel as a channel member, getting early access to news, early access to podcasts, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Also, remember, if you miss any of this podcast and you don't want to watch it back on video, they are all available on the many different audio platforms out there, like Apple Podcasts, or it's called, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But with that, we got NXT to talk about. NXT kicked off with tag team action. It was Hit Rose, Ashanti the Adonis, and Top Dollar taking on Legado del Fantasma's Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. So, like any grudge match, well, what does this match start with? A brawl. After things settled down, we got a tag match. Top Dollar displayed strength and power early. He manhandled Wilde. The tides turned when Escobar caused a distraction, and a low bridge by Mendoza sent Adonis crashing to the floor. Legado del Fantasma worked over Adonis through a commercial break, including quick tags and double team maneuvers. Got a hot tag to Top Dollar, and he cleaned house. Escobar then smacked Top Dollar with a steel chair. Referee saw it, caused the disqualification. Escobar continues his assault after the match. Escobar hit Top Dollar with a steel chair a few times. Then Escobar sent Top Dollar crashing into the steps. Legado del Fantasma turned their attention on Isaiah Scott. They held him for a while, and Escobar hit Scott with the chair. Escobar then stole Scott's grill right out of his mouth. Top Dollar, though, eventually got to his feet, and he was quite angry. B-Fab jumped in and hit Wilde with a chair. Top Dollar struck with a shotgun dropkick on Escobar. Adonis then took down Mendoza, and Scott got some revenge as well, executing his finisher on Mendoza. The heel soon fled, and Escobar still had Scott's grill. Yep, he still got that grill. I thought this was all right. Nothing special here, to be honest. It's kind of just like, oh, they're all going to brawl. Yeah, it's a tag team match, but everybody's got to get involved. Even B-Fab. It didn't do it for me. Like, it wasn't bad, but it didn't do it for me. And in turn, this is really all just going to lead to, most likely at TakeOver 36, Swerve defending against Escobar. General Manager William Regal brought a team of security guards and stated that they're here to watch over Samoa Joe till TakeOver. Security was supposed to keep Joe and Kross apart. With the history of security in WWE and pro wrestling at that, I doubt that they're going to be able to keep those two apart. And as we saw later, they may be able to keep them apart, but for how long? Also, guys, remember, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in. The number's right down there and in the live chat, 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. Dexter Lumis was drawing some creepy pictures. Got a recap of Ridge Holland and his return last week. And then, well, he's up next in action where he destroyed Ikemen Jiro's basically fed to the monster. Jiro landed a few strikes. And that was really it. The rest of this match was Holland destroying Ikemen Jiro. Holland countered a top rope move by shoving Jiro right off the top rope, and Jiro crashed to the floor. At one point, Holland tore off Jiro's jacket. Holland tossed the jacket out of the ring. That almost fired up Jiro, but then he was suplexed by Holland instead. Holland ended the match with a power slam, followed by the 3 count. Out would then come Pete Dunne, and he cut a promo on behalf of Holland. Dunne warned Thatcher and Ciampa to watch out. He said, a man like this can knock out all your teeth. And then, because you're so beat down, you won't even be able to pick them back up. I don't know where this is going. Yeah, you have 3-on-2. You have Ciampa and Thatcher against Lorcan, Dunne, and Holland. Who's Ciampa and Thatcher going to add? I have no clue. Kushida? Because Kushida just randomly gets added to things when you need an extra third man. Frankie Monet was being interviewed in the back. She was very upset that she lost her tag team match last week with Jessie Kamea. She said that she let Robert Stone and Kamea know what's up. Monet blames Stone's botched interference for the loss. She said that Stone and Kamea are used to being, quote, losers. But Monet does not even know what that word means. Monet said, for the group to work, they have to rebuild in Monet's image. She is in charge. Next up, we had a pretty good match. It was Roderick Strong versus Bobby Fish. I get why they did the match, but where is it? Again, another question here. What is this leading to? Yes, Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish was a really good match. Pretty darn good match at that. But where's this leading to? Just, Diamond Mine picked up a good win? I don't know what the plan is for Diamond Mine, and I can't tell. What is Diamond Mine? 2 guys, a coach and a manager? I don't know. They still haven't really told us what Diamond Mine is, even though Strong and Bivens cut a promo last week. There was some intense grappling early on as the match went into a picture-in-picture break like a minute and a half in. Strong was reeling during the commercial break, but then gained control. Fish fought back as the show returned from break, and Strong struck him down. It was a comeback by Fish with a series of kicks, a lot of kicks, in fact, including a mule kick. Going forward, Strong cut off Fish, that is, with a backbreaker. He traded near falls, and Fish got a 2 count. Fish again came back with a kick, and this time a roundhouse that led to a near fall. Fish went for a high-risk move off the ropes, but being briefly distracted by Diamond Mine, this allowed Roderick Strong to shove Fish off the top rope. Strong then hit a jumping knee lift, and Strong followed this up with a falling backbreaker to pick up the victory. So with that, Diamond Mine gets the win. Roderick Strong beats Bobby Fish. And then what? Bobby Fish just goes away for a while. I don't know what you do with Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish just seems like a guy that's just going to be used for guys that need to get wins. Daniel Mullinax with the super chat donation. Really do appreciate that. He says, I don't know what I was watching, NXT or a primetime soap opera. If you're talking about that main event, we'll get into it. We will get into it. So next up, we have the Grizzled Young Vets, James Drake and Zach Gibson, against LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. So Knight made Grimes wrestle in his butler outfit, and Knight also made Grimes start the match. Knight soon tagged in when Grimes had Drake under control. Knight was soon getting his butt kicked. Knight had to tag out. Grimes leapt into the ring with a flying crossbody in the butler's outfit. There was a blind tag that allowed Drake to waylay on Cameron Grimes. There's got some heat on Grimes, but soon he created some separation. Knight would then refuse to tag in, and Grimes got mad. He threw the gloves down in anger, and Grimes took off the coat. He motioned for Grizzled Young Veterans, bring it. They brought it, and they double-teamed him. Grimes made a comeback, though. He punted Drake and caught Gibson in a running Spanish fly. Got 2 off of it. Grimes signaled for the cave-in, but was outnumbered. Grizzled Young Vets then hit him with a double-team finisher called the Ticket to Mayhem, and Drake pinned Grimes because, well, LA Knight wouldn't help him at all. After the match, Ted DiBiase would walk down to ringside, and he told Grimes, hey, he's never going to have your back. You don't need to do this. You're more than this. DiBiase told Grimes that he has to figure out a way out of this situation. Then we got a Dakota Kai video, and this was masterpiece. This was a masterpiece. I loved this video. Dakota Kai said 18 months ago, I needed someone to watch my back. I saw this big, strong woman crushing all of the combine records in the Performance Center, and I knew she was the one I wanted to watch my back, and that was Raquel Gonzalez. She said, together, we dominated this brand. We dominated the women's division. She had my back. She said, but then, well, things got a little, this is something like they went in the wrong direction. Raquel started to get, how did she phrase it? I didn't write this down word for word, but this is really good. She basically said that Raquel got too big for her britches. And when Dakota attacked last week, she didn't see it coming because she was blinded by the success that Dakota gave her. She said that she should have been the one at the biggest takeover of all, NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, to have the title shot against Io Shirai, but Io picked Raquel. And because of that, because of her, Raquel won. Now, she is going to be selfish because Raquel has been selfish as well. I said it's time for her to be selfish and take what she believes is hers, because if it wasn't for her, Raquel would not be the champion. I thought this was great. I didn't do it justice there at all. If you guys didn't see this video package for Dakota Kai, boy, you go watch it now, because this was great. Dakota is a great talker, one of the better women's talkers in all of WWE, and not just NXT, WWE, NXT, but in all of NXT or WWE. She may be one of the better talkers in all of wrestling right now, at least English speaking. I think when Dakota Kai talks, it's just it's in a way that doesn't sound like she's reading a script. And it doesn't sound like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be talking about. I got to hit my points and talk about this. It just sounds like a woman, or just, it sounds like a person that's just out there talking. I mean, Dakota Kai is really good on the microphone, and then she gets in the ring, and she's great in the ring as well. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae cut a promo saying that they know what is best for Indy Hartwell. They said that, or Gargano said that he vows to take out Dexter Lumis tonight and end Index once and for all. It was then announced that Adam Cole was dealing with a spine and a back injury based off of the brainbuster he took on the steps last week. I think it was last week, Kyle O'Reilly. Yet they did state that next week on NXT, we will be getting a face-to-face with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. The face-to-face will be moderated by NXT General Manager William Regal. So next up, we had the final first round match in the the Breakout tournament. It was Trey Baxter and Joe Gacy. And for the first time in any of these weeks that they've done this tournament, they actually aired a video prior on NXT itself for both guys. So I go, not predicting or not making it as predictable as it has been every other week. Because every other week they've had matches in this tournament. Whoever's winning gets a video before the match. But both the guys got them within the first hour of the show. But we did get Trey Baxter versus Joe Gacy here. These two put on a great match. And the winner will be moving on to take on, they didn't state when, maybe next week, I don't know, take on Odyssey Jones. But the two had a really good match. There wasn't a lot to the match, but it was really crisp, really clean, and Baxter did win with the 450-foot stomp before scoring the pinfall. I didn't get any notes for this match, though, because I was distracted with my kids, getting them ready for their football and cheer practice. But the match wasn't that long, kept short, and again, Baxter won with the 450-foot stomp. But then we got a very weird segment. Io Shirai and Zoe Stark at some sushi restaurant. Shirai ordered a bunch of Japanese food. And Stark in English said that she would have whatever Sarray has. The food came in, and it looked like squid and some other things. And Stark was like, oh, I don't know about this. And Neil's like, oh, you're going to eat. It's good. And so Starks takes a bite. She's like, no. They took the food, put it in a napkin, threw it on the floor. There's also a spot when she tried to use chopsticks. She pulled the chopsticks apart. One of them went flying. So she used a fork. She then said, what is the green stuff? And, of course, it's wasabi. And Stark's like, oh, it's great. Try some. No, Stark's Io. She said, it's great. Try some. So she eats wasabi, and it was way too spicy. Shirai then hugged the waitress after she brought them the bill. Stark went for a hug, but Shirai pushed her away and gave her the bill. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So India Hartwell was seen in the back. She was love struck before tonight's main event. Also, Brian Lazaro in the chat says, nice shirt. Well, if you want to pick up this shirt, send a link to it at the top of the chat. All you got to do is hit that link. It'll take you to our Teespring store where you can get this shirt, YouTube style, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Kind of a knockoff of the Nakamura Strong Style shirt they had a couple years back. This one's YouTube style, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited under it. If you want to check out that shirt, you can do so. Hit the link at the top of the chat. Take it to our Teespring store. Going forward, NXT champion Karrion Kross stormed in, cleared the announce table of people, and he just yelled for Joe. He's like, Joe, I'm right here. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Come on, Joe. I'm waiting. And Joe comes out, but the security's holding him back on the ramp. Karrion Kross leaves, and Joe gets in the ring. Security's still trying to stop Joe. He beats their asses. Throws one guy out of the ring. He slams another guy with an STO. He then took another guy and put him in the Coquina clutch. And WWE, I think it was either WWE or WWE on Fox, tweeted out a picture. It was Joe doing a Coquina clutch, Kross doing the straight jacket. And they said, who's got the better submission? And to me, it can always be Joe. There's not a better man in pro wrestling that can look scarier and like he's going to pop your head like a pimple with a rear naked choke like Samoa Joe. When Samoa Joe puts on that Coquina clutch, that rear naked choke, and he gets all intense and everything, boy, does he look like he's ready to kill you. They don't say, Joe is gonna kill you, just because it's a cool chant to do, add X name here. No. They say it because Joe gonna kill somebody. I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, the so-and-so's gonna kill you started with Samoa Joe. It started as a Samoa Joe chant that fans started. I don't remember if that was back in NXT, if that started in NXT or if that was an Impact thing. Because I remember, I think it might have been an Impact, where Impact fans started it. But regardless, like the first time I ever heard so-and-so's gonna kill you, it was for Samoa Joe. I could be wrong, and that maybe started before Joe or with somebody else, but I do believe that started as a Samoa Joe chant. But Joe choked the dude out. He glared a hole through the camera and just gave a primal, "Ah!" Only like Samoa Joe can. They got a prime target preview. Okay. Alexis Cavallo says Impact. I thought I heard it at Impact. Got a prime target preview. The upcoming Walter versus Ilja Dragunov 2 NXT UK Championship match taking place at NXT TakeOver 36. Boy, this is going to be great. Johnson 740 says it started with Taz. Yeah, probably actually. Now thinking about it. Now that I think about it, yeah, it probably was a Taz chant back in ECW. It just fits Joe so well, though. Well, okay. They both did the rear naked choke. So that's why it fits Joe so well. But regardless, I was corrected there. Johnson 740 says it started with Taz. You're right. It did start with Taz. Now thinking about it, I remember ECW back in the day. Taz is gonna kill you. Yeah. A lot of similarities in Taz and Joe, though, people say. Anyways. We got a nice little prime target. I hope we get a full prime target. I hope this was just the preview video, and then on Peacock or whatever, they put out the full prime target, because this was great. Hyping up Ilja Dragunov and Walter. I liked this a lot. Walter basically said he's been the NXT champion forever, over 800 days. He's like, this is going to be the biggest match in Ilja Dragunov's career. Ilja Dragunov only gets to wrestle in America because of him. And well, Ilja Dragunov is going to learn that he doesn't need to come after him anymore. Honestly, I think this is the time you put that title on Dragunov. I really think this is the time you put that title on Dragunov. Cincinnati says they started with Asuka. Asuka's going to kill you. But I heard them do it for Samoa Joe years before I even knew who Asuka was, to be completely honest. Like I said, I had heard that chant back in the day in Impact. TNA. Joe was going to kill you. So before I even knew who Asuka was, I was hearing Joe was going to kill you. They said next week, NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez will be breaking her silence. They also announced that Ember Moon will be going one-on-one with Sarray for the first time. And Ilja Dragunov, for the first time ever, will be in America on NXT television. He will be live in the CWC. Plus, as already announced, face-to-face, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole with William Regal as the moderator. Then we go into our main event. Johnny Gargano against Dexter Lumis in a lover or loser match. Beth, nothing against Beth, but she gets a little too excited for this Index stuff, and it's just so annoying. Oh my God, Index, they're together, they're a thing, it's love. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it, you're the woman, you're supposed to be excited by love, but it's coming off so just fake. So like, all right, they told me I gotta be over the top excited about these two because I'm the woman and women love love, but it's just like, it just comes off fake and too much, like too over the top. Beth, tone it down just a little bit. Yeah. So Indy came out to the ringside area before the match even started. We're right at the beginning of the match. And Lumis went under the ring at one point. She went out under him. This then brought out Candice LeRae, who pulled her out from under the ring, who was holding hands with Dexter. So when she pulled out Indy, she also pulled out Dexter. Actually, Candice and Johnny pulled them out. This then led to a commercial break. Not much happened before that first commercial break. The match went through a picture-in-picture. Meanwhile, Gargano retrieved his headband that he had lost earlier. Gargano also dashed a hope spot from Lumis. After the break, there was a comeback by Lumis. He bumped and fed for Gargano, and Lumis was on fire. Gargano cut him off. He executed a top rope suicida. Lumis countered a slingshot spear, and Lumis used a slingshot falcon arrow. Lumis then leapt off the top rope. There's no water in the pool. Lumis had a super kick. Gargano was soon countered, and he was down, prone on the mat. Because, Johnny hit the super kick. Lumis then hit a super kick. Lumis then signaled to Indy that he was going for an elbow off the top rope. Gargano, though, saw that signal and rolled out of the way. Lumis missed a springboard flying elbow. Gargano applied the Gargano escape, but Lumis got to the ropes. Hartwell got on the apron to distract Johnny. Lumis, with a schoolboy roll-up, got a 2 off of it. Gargano kicked out. That sent Lumis crashing into Indy. She was knocked off the apron into the arms of Candice. Lumis went outside to check on Indy, and Gargano caught Lumis with a swinging DDT on the floor. Gargano then followed this up with one final beat, and Gargano covered Lumis to pick up the victory. Afterwards, Gargano and Sarray tried to take Indy away. They went up the ramp. They got to the top of the ramp, and Indy stops. He then turns around, runs in the ring, basically Thez presses Dexter Lumis, and the two start making out. This is when Beth just starts going nuts on commentary. She's like, oh my God, even though Johnny Gargano won, Index, love still conquers all. And I'm like, shut up. And so they're making out or whatever. Johnny and Candice are mad. And Indy's on top of Lumis. Kind of like looks around, goes back down. They're making out. They sit up in the ring. They're making out. And they live happily ever after the show goes off the air. Right in to the Fifth Element. With that was NXT. How are we ever... You put a fucking stipulation on this match. If Gargano wins, Indy can't be with Dexter. If Dexter wins, Johnny and Candice have to be okay with Indy and Dexter and whatever this index is. But no, Johnny wins and they say, fuck the rules, fuck the stipulations. You do this one too many times, NXT, and then we're going to start thinking, well, stips don't matter. Put stips on your matches and fuck them. I hate when shit like this happens. I get it. Love conquers all. But no. Because you literally just told us that the stipulation does not matter. Because if we come in next week and Johnny and Candice are like, you're grounded, Missy. We said if Johnny wins and you can't, because it was stupid in the match at one point when Lumis was in control. He almost beat Johnny one time. He got a 2 count and Beth said something on commentary. She was like, oh, and Johnny Gargano almost lost. He would have had to be okay with his son-in-law or something like that. She called Dexter Johnny's son-in-law. And I was like, this shit is getting too stupid. We need to just cut this all out and give me Johnny Gargano 2 years ago. The Johnny Gargano that was all business. The Johnny Gargano that wanted to be NXT champion. The Johnny Gargano that was feuding with fucking Ciampa. I'm over this. I've been an advocate for Johnny can be silly and goofy and fun, but then he knows when to be serious when it's time. But not anymore, because now this shit's jumped the shark. He does not need to be goofy Johnny no more. Because when you're saying that Indy is his kid, I get it. They've had those jokes for months now. But when you say, if Indy is dating Dexter, Dexter is your son-in-law, what? What? Now you've gotten too far with this bullshit. Now it's stupid. I need real Johnny Gargano back. Give me the Johnny and Candice that were serious, that were competitors, that wanted to be champions in NXT. Because this shit is just no bueno anymore. But with that, I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's show. I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's NXT. Let's check the text. Nope, let's check the polls first. Looks like the Twitch poll or the YouTube poll didn't work. I don't know what happened there. But as far as the Twitch poll does go, 67% of you didn't like NXT. Yeah. 33% thought it was all right. Nobody liked tonight's NXT. With that, let's go to the text messages. Remember, you can be part of the show. Text into 510-906-1341. Where it says, do you see Samoa Joe winning the NXT title at NXT TakeOver 36? Yes, because they got to take the title off of Karrion Kross since he's now a main roster superstar. So, of course, Joe wins the title. Versus, I like NXT tonight. Who do you see challenging NXT Tag Team Champions and NXT Women's Tag Team Championships? I don't know about the Women's Tag Team Championships, but for the Male Tag Team Championships, it's going to be Imperium and MSK. Or do you think Hit Row challenge and possibly beat MSK at TakeOver? No, it's going to be Imperium. Imperium beat Hit Row last week, so why should Hit Row get the shot if they lost last week as a tag team? No, it's Imperium. First says Karrion Kross is on the main roster. But one of the things I was going to ask you, do you think WWE is going to push him like they did next? I have no clue. The rumor going around is he's going to lose like 4 or 5 matches, and then Scarlett's going to come and whip him into shape or whatever. Get him back to his winning ways. I don't know. That's the rumor going around of the story they want to tell. Chris says, I think NXT did okay tonight. You keep doing an amazing job on PWU Unlimited. Do you see anybody still being champion after NXT TakeOver 36? I can see Swerve retaining his title if he defends against Escobar. I can see MSK retaining the tag titles. Walter will probably retain the NXT UK title, even though I would love to see Dragunov win it. And then I don't know where else we go. Kushida maybe defending against Roderick Strong. Kushida hopefully retains. I don't want to see Strong get that belt. Not a fan of what they're doing with Diamond Mine right now, so they need to build them up more. Where it says, you see Ember Moon turning heel on Sarray next week. Also, I think Danny Burch will join Thatcher and Ciampa. Why? Why would Danny Burch? No, Danny Burch won't join Ciampa and Thatcher. Now thinking, no, why? He's Oni Lorcan's tag partner. He was there with Lorcan and Dunn. He and Lorcan and Burch were the tag team champions, and then they had to. Oh no, that'd just be dumb. Because it wouldn't make any sense. Because it's not like you could say, well, they replaced Danny Burch with Ridge Holland. No, because originally when Pat McAfee made this group, it was Pat, Ridge, Pete, Oni, Danny. But I saw somebody say that last week. Oh, did they replace Danny Burch with Ridge Holland? No, Ridge has always been in the group. He just got her injured like 2 weeks in. First says, Karrion Kross reminds me of 2016 NXT Samoa Joe, that uncontrollable monster heel exactly. But unfortunately, he ain't the same on the main roster. Says, I think NXT might be building Cole versus O'Reilly 3. They are. That's the plan. And then Adam Cole's a free agent. The plan is for Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly to have a third match takeover, and then Adam Cole can either stay with WWE or leave right after that. Like, the night after. Like, from what I've been told, NXT TakeOver 36 is the last contracted day Adam Cole has with WWE. Does he resign? We'll have to wait and see. Says, I think NXT was good tonight. Which match on NXT TakeOver 36 do you see being match of the... I can't say that because I don't know all the matches announced yet. Versus says, Phoenix shouldn't be on commentary anymore after that match tonight, LOL. I don't think she should not be on commentary. I just think they need to end this index stuff. It's kind of dumb, annoying, and Beth is just a little too over the top with it. I think Beth is grown and gotten a lot better as a commentator, but it's the index stuff where she just tries too hard to be over the top, love conquers all type of, it's just too much. It's a little too much. But with that, I want to say thank you guys for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, we'll be back here right tomorrow. Whoa, mess that up. We'll be back here, right here, same place, same time, tomorrow night, for AEW and AEW Dynamite Homecoming. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Remember to follow us on social media, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. You follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. So with that, guys, have a great night. I will be live later, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. So follow me there. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow for AEW Dynamite Homecoming. It's all confusing because it's AEW Dynamite and then they have the Homecoming name and it's not really super special. Yeah. Also, if you want to hear Cody Rhodes' thoughts from today as far as going into tomorrow's Homecoming event and what he wants to do going forward in AEW, we do have the audio up from Cody Rhodes' media call on our YouTube channel right now. Go check that out as well. But with that, guys, have a great night, and I will see you later. All right. If you'll